What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Dent Digest Live Show. What's up, Manny?
Yo, what's up, Ryan? I'm excited
you
for the
resting.
show, man. Yeah, I
Caught
just
you
finished
resting.
my last job like 20 minutes ago, so that was literally like my 20-second break.
Well, I'm glad you got a break.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's been
I like that little sign you have on the back. That's dope.
this sign right here.
Yeah.
I've had it before. We've had it on here before.
Oh, really? But
Yeah.
okay, maybe it just looks different with that little light.
So, how's business?
Busy. It's wild. I think like for big jobs, I'm to June, and like little jobs, I'm still fitting them in the gaps, for the rest of the month. But yeah, it's wild,
Yeah, it's been
I'm blessed. I'm grateful, Yeah.
it's been busy here. But one thing you had a I don't know if you like jinxed me or I had the most no-shows this week. We had six total no-shows this week.
No way. I had 4 last week. Oh, that
six.
was bad.
I've never had that many. Maybe 1 or 2 here or there, but 6 this week. Mike was like, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he's like, that never happens. Or the people are canceling the night of.
Oh, I hate
like the
that
night
too.
before, I mean.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I guess it's cool that they called, but it's also like not cool. Like seriously, you could have called me like 2-3 days before, like.
It is what it is, man. It's people.
Yeah,
the world's in a weird place right now. I had this conversation. I had a customer, and it was a really, really good conversation with him, and just talking about the world and what's going on, and he said he explained it perfectly. He said, as soon as the pandemic hit, everybody was really happy, really nice. Not really happy, but people were easier to deal with right after the pandemic. After the world shut down, everybody was, busy and giving money. And hey, would you like a bottle of water or, whatever? Do you want a sandwich? When we were doing a ton of mobile, and I'm like, no, we're good. It's COVID times. You're giving me a sandwich, but
I got toilet paper too.
Exactly. And then everybody got mean. Got that, you could feel the world change a little bit, and people are getting harder, tired of COVID, and they're tired of the $27 gas prices. And now at that point of the COVID talks back up.
Yeah.
Prices are through the roof. People are starting to freak out about the stock market. And I can't even be mad at the customers because it's just a weird time in the world.
Yeah. It is. But it's crazy, but it happens. There's times where you're just going to be busy. Everyone's up and happy and paying whatever. There's going to be those times where you'll have 6 no-shows.
All I can say, tonight's show is going to be funnier than hell. I can already see it. I'm having a hard time keeping a straight face from the guy in the background over here, so it's going to be a good one.
Maybe we could get him on for our weekly joke, yeah? Because
you're dreading it, aren't you?
Yeah, please have him on. And I just want to give shout-outs to everyone watching. Thank you guys for joining us. If you guys can, share it so that we could have other PDR techs who are just scrolling through social media be like, oh yeah, the show's on. Let's go on to it. So that'd be really cool. Thanks, guys.
First off, I brought it up last week. That Dent Reaper scythe, I think is the name of it. I used it again on a Mazda RX or CX5 rear door, upper body line. Bro,
it's funny because I was thinking about that too. I think it was yesterday. I had like the edge of a door, and I just couldn't get the right tool to be sharp and have that small loop, to get right in there. And I was like, oh, if I could have just had that new Reaper.
That thing, the regular Reaper,
Add
it
that
was
to
just
the list.
too much play. Like I felt like I was really pushing on the glass. This thing gave me enough torque to really, I'm in love with that tool, dude. I'm sorry. John's my friend, but it is a fantastic tool. I mean, it really is a fantastic tool.
Yeah.
But I did get a special package in the mail.
Uh-oh.
I knew
what you get.
I knew they were coming because we've talked a lot about it. You know that I'm a paddle guy. I'm still using Scott Grimes paddle every single day. But I got this.
Oh yeah, I saw the post on this.
And the packaging on this thing, okay?
I got to tell you, Glexo always does really nice job in the packaging.
I don't even know how they make money. Because
it's funny. I bought their tap downs like 2 MTs ago, and they were just so nicely packed. I decided not to use those. Those are gonna be like put on for display for something because it's just so nice.
So I picked this thing up, and I was like, okay, it's really well done. It's really, really comfortable in the hand.
Okay.
It's got 2 different diameter of leather on either end.
One's harder.
This one is softer. This one is harder.
Okay.
And I was like, the only problem is I feel like it's not heavy enough. If I take it with my Scott Grimes paddle and I take it with this, it's much lighter.
Oh, really?
First thought before I used it.
Yeah.
And I've been using it all week. I've had it since, I guess it came in the mail Friday. I like this thing. And the reason I really like it, which sounds crazy, is this thick part up here. I kind of grab it up high
from there
and are really using it. I feel like I have a lot of control with it here. You know what I mean? Just really like how much I need. I'm really, really, I mean, you can see, I mean, I've really kind of beat this thing, really started to beat it.
Nice.
I'm really enjoying it.
How thick is the leather? Like, is it like?
I can't tell. It's recessed into the wood.
Oh.
So you can kind of, you can't see a darn thing, can you?
Yeah. No, it's all good.
But it's kind of recessed flat in the wood.
That's cool.
But the true build quality, typical Glexo, I mean, man, their stuff is just really nice. Their little logo engraved in the handle. But it feels good in the hand. But I really, today I was like, I really enjoy this part of it.
Yeah.
I did like.
Yeah, I saw it, the post, and I thought that the design of it was pretty unique, and I could see how the handle will be a lot more comfortable than your regular ones. I think like all the other paddles out there, they're just straight, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is kind of that teardropped.
Yeah.
Almost like their blending hammer ends is what it reminds me of.
Yeah. You know what? And I got to tell you, blending hammers, they have more of that, tier end. Like it's just a lot more comfortable.
Yeah. But I'm really happy. If you guys haven't checked it out, I think online it is $80. So, and I was really surprised. I was talking to Olga about shipping and how all that's working and how much work they put in to, I mean, look at that thing. It's recessed in this packaging. I mean, their packaging's amazing. So they've really kind of worked out the logistics of getting stuff here and payment and, all the tough stuff with Russia going on. And there's such a nice group of people. Vitaly and Olga are just amazing people to work with. So
that's good. I'm glad they figured that thing out because, eventually there's PDR guys who need their tools. So,
yeah. Well, let's get our guest on so he can
I'm excited, man.
Help you with this joke. I can't even. It's going to be a crazy show. So let's get him on. Mr. Joel Mathis.
There he is.
We got to be safe, right? You don't know. I mean, I don't know if I don't want to get pregnant. I mean, I don't want to catch a cold. I mean, I don't want to giggle. I don't want to laugh. I mean,
Hey,
I'm just here because of the free tools that I was promised. I'm here for the glue and so
Hey, it looks like
you guys are just talking. I'll be safe over here because apparently this is safe to do.
hey, play at your own risk.
hey, Jeremy Smith from Collision Grooves said he'll mail you a case of glue.
Right.
So,
Oh, that stuff
your
is so
free
legit,
tools.
man.
Look at that.
I switched through a lot of glues just to see what is working and everything.
And you know what? Looks like
God,
Matt
that stuff has been crushing it. That Saigon, man, I've been.
Yeah.
Woo!
Matt from Get a Grip just says he'll mail you an umbrella.
Shoot.
Look at that. I'm just giving everybody's tools away. All the tool manufacturers like, I'm out of this show.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
How are you, Joe?
All right. So I'm here for the free hell rod. So just give me the pink or the orange one. I mean, you guys do a really good show to get people on here. I wasn't sold until Manny's like, "Will you just please be on?" I was like, "Okay."
So you got to help my buddy out with this. My kid pulls a joke every week, and Manny
I like
really
the last
struggles.
one. Yeah.
I've been getting them wrong ever since the first one, and
what has arms that can't clap? I'm like, what?
So we got another good one here, and I hope you guys are ready.
I'm gonna nail this thing. I'm gonna look
What-
at it real quick.
What
on,
kind
Joe.
of tree can fit in one hand?
Whoa! Say that
Palm
one.
tree. Whoa! Hey, interview's over. Thank you for having me. I so appreciate your time.
That's
it.
it.
I really appreciate you for sponsoring this with the new slap hammer. I mean, if I was in high school, I was hoping that was the one that was going to hit me because, man, I wore that sucker out. That was when you could hit kids, and they love to hit me.
Listen,
Yeah.
that's a broken record right there, Joe. You
Joel,
broke the record. Just
You need to send me your address because you officially have just won a glue giveaway from Anson PDR. So send me the address because you're the first guest, physical live guest that has guessed it right away.
nailed
I'm
it.
honestly not even right here. I'm on the crapper pooping.
So
You
so let's-
nailed it, Joe. I am, man.
he was
thank you.
fast.
Yeah, right to it. Like, I know this one.
Never heard it. The first thing that popped in my head, it was like somebody was mind speaking, and I was like, "Oh, palm tree." I'll just sit here and palm trees.
Oh, shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, right.
So let's get into you a little bit. How long have you been pushing dents?
Boy, I probably say since I would think 97 when I was
Okay.
learning. Yeah, so 97 in California.
Wow.
Where
I
were you
was
trained?
learning. I was at the time I was a private investigator, and these guys would always club at this club called the Cowboy Country, and we were always dancing. They were out there just all the girls are like, yeah. So I'm like, I want to do that. I want to. So they're like, man, you could make this certain amount of money, this, that, or whatever, literally, and of course they don't tell you, well, that's 50%. So to make that kind of money, you got to make this. So I was like, sure, teach me, I was making decent money. I was making like $35 an hour as a PI doing work comp investigations. So I was like, I wanted something different because you're sitting in a car, basically a professional stalker.
Yeah.
And I would get up at the ass crack of dawn, go to somebody's house by 6 o'clock, and then sit there and wait for them to leave and follow them all day long and record them.
Oh wow.
No matter the temperature. So when you're talking about 76 degrees, it would be like 130 in my car. I got fans running. I'm drenched. And I got probably 4 2-liters of Diet Pepsi in there. Oh my God. Yeah. The biggest complaint was hey, when you're recording and you have your sounds that you're making, going in the bottle and everything, can you put that little plug in the camera so we don't hear you peeing? They always said that the girls, when they transcribe it, they hear every time you fart and pee. I'm like, hey bro, it happens.
It's a good microphone.
It.
That's
Oh,
wild.
shit. So who trained you?
Brandon Madison from his dad and Tony and Ray Harmon that own Dent Masters in California.
Okay.
Yeah, Brandon. When Brandon started doing his own thing or whatever, so he brought me on, and literally I was just with him, just trying to make $50 a day just to pay bills. I literally quit my job.
Yeah.
you know, you quit making that money and you're just like, I was like, dude, here's just the bare minimum I need to pay rent and everything, and I'll figure it out. I would sit there in the back porch for days doing X's and O's on a hood, just trying to figure it out, you know.
Wow.
Just, you know, trying to push outies, which is easy. Just push a high spot. You don't realize that's not even the job.
Yeah.
That's just training your eyes to see if you can even see it, right?
One day we were pushing like on a man quarter panel. And he's like, dude, he's fixing it. I was like, yeah. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. He'd go back to his place. He was like, his girlfriend's like, yeah, man, she said you were just fixing this dent. I was like, yeah, I was killing it. I had no idea what I was doing. Oh my God, dude. I just took some serious dedication to do it. You know, one of the dent guys had an issue and he had a bunch of accounts and somebody needed to fill in. So literally, get this, with 2 weeks of training, I was literally doing dealerships.
Wow.
And fixing dents and had to learn on the fly. That's how much time I had dedicated within 2 weeks, or maybe, 2 weeks or a couple weeks or a month, whatever. Wasn't a lot. And,
wow.
I was riding around with these guys like, look, I'll fix windshields. I'll push your tools around. I just got to make a certain amount of money per day just to pay bills until I can learn this. And then when that happened, I jumped in and started just doing dealerships right away. But because I worked so hard, they worked with it. And they're like, hey, we get it. I'm like, look, so humble. I was like, yeah, it doesn't look perfect, but, just making it happen for 6 months until the guy came back. And when he came back, he got all his accounts and I had nothing again. So you talk about having to hustle again to get some accounts, man. Woo! I was just busy just doing what he had.
Yeah. And that shows you, the grind end of it. Hey, I got to figure this out.
Right. Yeah.
You get comfortable, then you got to figure it out again.
Yeah. Yeah. And get used to just hearing no. It's like meeting women nonstop that just can't stand you. Hey, you want to dance? No. So I had to go to all these dealerships and do this dance. No, got a guy. And just sitting at home practicing and then taking every little mom and pop place that you could get that would just give you the most crushed stuff just to try and learn. And man, I was like 35 a car, 50, whatever, anything just to make. I was like $200 a day. If I can get to 200, I'll be crushing it. I'll be killing it. Just line it up, stack it up. Just started from there, man. And just started small and just kept going and going. But the problem is, it got me married to wholesale accounts.
What kind of tools did you have back then? I'm just wondering.
Once I had left, well, I guess I had the tools that Brandon had bought me, which was a really big Dent Master set and everything. And then when we went our different ways and everything, I ended up buying I literally had 16 tools. I think 12 to 16 tools. I had a milk crate. I had a drill, which you knew what that was for. That was to take cars apart.
Yeah.
I had this little Tupperware dish to this day. I still have that same Tupperware dish that I kept all the plugs in to replug the panels back up. And literally 12 tools and a Harbor Freight or whatever stool, maybe even a Snap-on one, the little fancy curl around ones.
Yeah.
Little slide out tray underneath the seat. And I was just pounding some dealerships out, man. Just with literally they would see me roll up with a milk crate with tools sticking through it with the old Dent Master curl handles on it at the time. And it just had to hustle. You talk about accounts with a black top that could just melt your tennis shoes, your stools grinding into it. I mean, Temecula, I would go all the way from Orange County, Huntington Beach, all the way out to Temecula and Riverside and Redlands. And then I'd go all the way to Oxnard in LA.
Wow.
Just to try and make this $200, man.
Wow. That is
so.
wild.
And it's funny. It's now where you are, or you get way into what you do, and then you're grinding it. Or today, you talk about how many customers that don't show, but you're still rolling decent numbers. You're rolling numbers, and you go back to, dude, I needed $50 at one time. $50. And guys are like, bro, that's one dent. I'm like, bro, that was one whole car at a dealership.
Yeah. I remember when I started, it was if I could just make $75, I'm good, a day, if I could make $75 a day, I'm good.
Dude, if I was rolling in Mexico pesos, I'd be like, I'm balling. But I had a full rent, mortgage, gas prices, gas isn't like when I was a kid where it was 50 cents a gallon, so.
Where are you originally from?
Okay, born in Dallas, raised in Las Vegas, and then when I went in the Marines, I stayed in California most of the time until 9 years ago.
Okay.
Then we moved to the Nashville area, little town called Portland on the Tennessee-Kentucky border. So been around, moved to a lot of different cities in that time of doing PDR when I got out of the Marines and everything and the PI thing. So just that grind, you know, the highs and lows of Simplify, Andy. Yeah, the highs and lows of just working it, go broke, working it, go broke. You make a little bit of cheddar. Next thing you're a baller and you're broke because you're drinking every night, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking
well,
that you got,
I gotta say,
you got all the answers.
thank you for your service.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you started out here. You were pushing, grinding, doing wholesale accounts.
Yeah.
And you did that for how long?
Ever till like 9 years ago.
Oh, really?
I literally got so burned out. I was just, you get tired of it, and just the non-loyalty. We were talking about that earlier. Just, you get a phone call and you can't make it. Don't worry, we'll get somebody else. It's like, whoa. I mean, yeah, you're important to me, but I got like 9 cars I still got to do here. So then I would literally go drop that stuff to run down there to take care of someone that's threatening to leave me. And I still got to go 50 miles back the other way to finish 9 cars. Work until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, for $50 a car. It was just, that hustle wears on you and everything. And just, there was a point in time where it just hit me. And I think there was a month that I literally just went to the lake every day and made every excuse not to show up to work and just went fishing every day. I was like, it's time for me to make a change because either I'm going to run my business into the ground or I got to find something else to do. Plus my body was the wear and tear from the Marines and just I was married to that stool literally. So, you just scoot around the whole lot. You don't realize how you're tearing your body up, not being ergonomically sound with your body. Yeah. It was getting fatter and fatter too. I got up to like 305 pounds and, you see those photos. I was a roly-poly, man. I was like, damn.
If you guys don't know, he's a official YouTube star. So you got to go check that out. I just learned today. We are talking to a
Nene, camel cakes, belly shit. Y'all ready for this? Silent top.
You guys got to check it out. It is. I will post a link.
Your nene, whip your nene. Man, why don't you just throw up a little taste of it? Just give them a little.
We should. You know what? I'm going to do that right now.
We honestly did that as a fundraiser just to make some money for one of the charities, and I think Keith Starling had that Lamborghini at the time, and him and his girlfriend, and then John Hiley with the video editing did really good with like his ninja thing. That's when I was like 305 pounds. Turn your eyes, Manny. I don't want you to fall in love, buddy.
Look at it.
It gets really good, bro. It gets really good. See, I got the LL Cool J leg going right there,
I just found this out right before the show. It was
right.
Putting in the work.
And honestly, before that, I was working on a Thriller one, trying to do the Michael Jackson stuff, and I was like, man, I got choreography. Look, I couldn't even figure out the hand wave for Nene, so I did my own thing. Think about it. So simple to walk backwards. My wife is recording that while her mother is holding like the music. So, yeah, I would have loved so many times to be sued because I actually played their music and I did the whole song, the whole 3 minutes and like 20 seconds.
Did you?
Yeah. So they sent me cease and desist letters and all sorts of shit through the internet. I'm like, really? It's a joke video. Come on.
To have a camera film all of it, your wife holding the camera, her mother holding the speaker, you dancing, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, my wife's doing it all. She's doing it, and I'm literally pulling the cars out, and she's like, what are you doing? Her mom walks out there, and she's like, why are the cars of the mower right there? I'm like, she's like, this is what you've been doing for the last week that we hear you upstairs. I would come down drenched in sweat, literally practicing, trying to do something. Think about that. I'm like the guys from like, what is that, Dancing with the Stars and shit, but just a really fat guy.
Oh man,
I'm literally working out, and then I'm sitting there for like an hour trying to whip my nene.
I could only imagine. It's like, what is he doing? Oh, he's doing the nene. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, I just had to put the music in my head, and she was just like, "What is?" She would see me walk back and forth through the spare room, but what is he doing? Trying to do my bop, 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 bop.
That's great.
Oh my God,
that's great.
Yeah.
So as you were doing some wholesale,
Yeah.
where did you go from there? Like, how did you?
You just start building it. I started building it one count at a time. I started doing really big damage, like a lot of guys do, just so you can make the money, just so you can just get a paycheck, and then buy more tools, and then do more and more accounts and everything. Slowly get into retail. Didn't do a ton because I was just so committed to wanting just the commitment from that account. 4 to 6 cars every week, each account. 4 to 6 cars, do 3 to 4 dealerships a day. Run between 15 and 20 cars a day.
Yeah.
I was thinking, it seems like you had, what the dealerships wanted too. Because I always think like you have to have a personality for dealerships wholesale accounts, right? Like you got to be
likable and quick on your feet, because they literally change managers like underwear. And it's like every day you got to be somebody different. Yeah. Or get in with the owner, and then of course that manager comes in and he wants to bring his guy. So it's just you got to really sell yourself, and a lot of it's like, look, you got a dent your guy can't fix. Look, then I'm your guy. And I had a few counts that go, all right, you cocky SOB, here's a dent. I'd go out there and do it. What I thought would be quick, and they thought was quick, and too, like, dude, that guy, you see how fast he was? Then you start getting around really good dent guys that like say could cross over, do hail, or already had retail shops, and you realize like, dang, look at those guys. Like they're like, who's this guy undercutting us all over town?
This guy.
I know, right? Yeah. Now I've made friends with a bunch of those guys, because if I ran to an account or whatever and somebody was there, I would introduce myself saying, hey, I'm just trying to sell on quality, not trying to be cheap. I mean, prices were cheap enough as it was, but dent guys and the egos, it's tough to, you walk into someone's account, it's basically you're peeing on their feet as you're talking to them. So,
Yeah. You went through that transition. I'm guessing like from when you first started, like guys who would just kind of like, seclude themselves, like not want anyone to see, and like, keep it to themselves.
Yeah. It was a secret. Literally PDR was a secret. When I started learning, I mean, they had like they put shades up and stuff that you couldn't even watch them do dents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like I met this guy, Eric Wilson. I mean, literally I went to ask him about a dent in my roof one day when I was doing surveillance, and he was like, I can't talk to you. He hands me a card that says, I cannot talk to you. This technician cannot talk to you. You have to call the office. I'm like, are you right?
That's wild.
Yeah, that's how much they didn't trust their guys. So I mean, when you're talking about all the money, they don't want them doing all that cash deal behind their back or whatever. And I get, guys are going to survive however they can, So, yeah.
So you're transitioning from wholesale. Where did you go from there? Would you work wholesale for a million years and then?
Yeah, literally, it seemed like it was wholesale for like 15, 16 years of just doing that and retail. There was a time that I started getting a lot of the higher end accounts, but still wasn't doing them for what probably the value was. You'll see, a bunch of my accounts were Lamborghini, Rolls Royce, but they were like not the dealerships, but it was like when those used units or whatever came up, these were the places that sold them. So I had a ton of those high, like Eurocar in California. I did them forever, and
oh wow,
yeah, they got like 100,000 square foot, and they like one of the most premier aftermarket dealerships, and I did them forever. So the customers I had, there's days that just like we did Mike Tyson's Lamborghini that he had his bodyguard stole and flipped over, and we were working on that, and I worked on J-Lo's cars and a bunch of stars that would go there get their cars worked on. Like one car rolled in, I'm like, God, this thing stinks of cigars and everything. I'm working on popping the trunk, and it's literally Charlie Sheen's car. I'm like, well, this is so cool. It's one of Charlie Sheen's cigars and everything like that, It might even have been the Mercedes that he drove off that damn cliff or whatever, and they found they had to tow it up. But yeah, Tilo at Eurocar had just tons of celebrity clientele that we would deal with, and I would see or watch them walk through the showroom while I was there, and just we'd get to meet them and everything, So what pushed you to wanting to like change, like to start doing hail or whatever, or just my body was breaking down. It's just you burn out. Like you guys talk about, you get tired the day in the day out, and then just the grind and non-loyalty of the dealerships, and someone else comes in and does it cheaper. Now you're like, who is this person coming in doing it cheaper? It was like, I thought I was at the bottom. If there was somebody lift the barrel up.
He's cheaper. God
Dude,
damn.
one dealership literally told me that they had a guy doing for $10. I was like, cool, just you can pay me right now. They didn't pay me forever. So literally they were selling the dealership. So I literally went in there in their boardroom and their meeting, walked in because I got tired of being avoided, and stood on the table and said, I want my money. They were like, literally I had to check that day and they're like, you'll never come back. I was like, you think I want to? That I have to come here and stand on your table and tell you I want my money?
Yeah.
You know, and then tell me it's $10 a car. I was like, thanks. That was that same count that said, they told me to take my hat off because I think I was wearing a Honda hat and it was a Dodge store, and they told me to take it off. And I was like, well, they gave it to me. You want me to wear your Dodge? Give me one. I guess maybe I should have bought one, but I was like, bro, I mean, I'm doing stuff cheap enough, you know?
Yeah, right. Hold on.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I wish I had a mentor back then, like somebody like that had a retail shop, you know, like I met Jeff Magill and Mark Magill and Beach City's Dents, and talking to him, he was one of the guys that lost a lot of accounts to me, and he was like, dude, who is this guy doing this? And then it was me, and I was like, man, I was just grinding it out, trying to survive, and I really needed a mentor, but I probably didn't have the mindset at the time to understand what I really needed until you get older. Now we're like really good friends.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, man, I wish I would have done then, you know, what we could have built together. So
Now,
yeah.
When you were going through that process, how were you dealing with it? Were you kind of starting to freak out because some of these accounts you were losing them, or were you
the recession hit and a bunch of the dealerships lost their certification? So like one dealership, Don Steve Chevrolet, I was talking to the owner one day, and 10 minutes later, they're like trying to tell me, literally went around the other side of the freeway and shot himself. I was like, I was just carrying a conversation with the guy. He literally had felt that because they lost the certification and now they had to do things themselves, that his status in the community wasn't good enough, and that, you know, he was letting people down when everybody was struggling. So, I mean, a lot of those places, you know, literally had that certified strip from them, and that meant everything. And now they weren't going to get their cars. They weren't going to get the backing from the dealerships or the manufacturers, you know, so that took a hit too. And that took me, like, I lost like 60% of my accounts because they lost the certification, dealerships closed, or they went independent. And that means now they're funding it themselves, you know, so you're losing a ton of accounts. So you talk about having to grind it out there and then trying to rely on retail and not really set up for it. So I started doing all the phone book ads, doing everything. I was doing a ton of retail. It just wasn't doing it at the right price point to make it like I should have done it more. I just wasn't maybe confident in my selling skills because I got so used to being cheap.
Yeah.
That I felt like a $400 down. I was like, look, I can go to a dealership and make this. I'm like, you know, but I'm like, yeah, but I had like 8 cars versus just doing 1 car. So I couldn't see past my nose despite my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I need my own palm tree. I need to see more sunny days. Oh, buddy, let me get that. Sorry. How
did you get introduced to the Hail Trail? Like, how did that whole run start?
MTE, you always heard about. Like, I was talking to this interior guy, and he also, I guess he said, oh yeah, one of my buddies took off, and he's like, now making $1,000 a day. I was like, what? You know, you know, grinding it at dealerships. You're like, dude, that dude's like the unicorn, man. Yeah, unicorns. And so I literally when I started getting burned out, I started looking into it. I went to Steve Hopp at Ultra, and I was like, bro, I need to see how good I am, you know. And so he was like, here, I'll knock a dent in the hood, fix it. 20 minutes later, and he's like, okay. So he's knocked the same dent in like a minute. He fixed it, and I was like, I need training. He's like, you've got good skills. You're just doing everything backwards, because at that point, I'm now self-taught.
You're right.
You know, things didn't last long where I started.
Yeah.
You know, because of this, that, or whatever. And so you develop bad habits. I'm using the pole. I'm not using lights. You know, I'm using like the Sal Contreras uses the pole. I also, my side gig, I mean, you guys might not know, is like if you bought a Ding King board back in the day, more than likely I made it.
Really?
I was making Ding King's line boards in fades. The fade was an accident for overdeveloped screen, and they ended up loving it. And I was also selling Luminators and Luminator Deluxes to Todd Sadecki over there at Dean King. So thousands of hundreds of people went through their school, and more than likely you've got, you know, I was making tools 20 years ago. No one knew about it. But I was
That's
making line
wild.
boards and stuff for them, but just no one, they always had their logo on them. No one knew, grinding it out of my garage as a side thing when I had a buddy that did screen printing, and it was like, hey, I got it in here. Do you want to do it? And we were like, yeah, let's go do it. So,
That was the lime green boards, correct?
I had, lime green boards, and I did a lot of the white ones they just had the white lines or whatever they wanted. And the fade that created that hazy fade was an accident for an overdeveloped screen.
Huh.
And then they were like, dude, we love that. I was like, yeah, we told him that. We were going to see if you like it. Dude, it was a total mistake, but you got to sell that shit,
Of course, of course.
So, yeah, they ended up loving him. And then, then he ended up, stabbing me. And, next thing you know, Todd's like, hey, bro, so those 1,000 line boards, what's up with those? We paid you. And I was like, you didn't pay me. I said, I didn't even know we had an order. Well, so-and-so. And I was like, sorry, man. I didn't realize, I was wondering where you guys went.
That's why.
But anyways, it's just all learning process, man. But it's just funny, making tools, doing line boards, luminator deluxes and different things. I haven't seen one in the wild, but, I was like, look, if you're using a pole to fix dents with a line on it, here's some, acrylic with some Lexan, or green Lexan in the middle with the orange and black line. And, it'll teach you how to do dents faster. That's why I said, oh, you guys will learn way much faster with these line boards. So he's like, all right, give me 200 of those. Give me 50 of those. Give me, 400 of those, Yeah. So, yeah, we totally went off on a tangent.
So you also went to train with Steve then, or?
I did. I took a 2-week class there or whatever. Me, Bobby, and a guy from Hawaii, Bobby from Dent Devils went there. And then him and I became really good friends there or whatever. Because he was like, I remember when you went there and you learned glue, you got a stopwatch. You had this old man with you that would sit there and click your stopwatch and they'll tell you when like 30 seconds was up to pull on your glue. Because, you would think now glues you can just literally stick on and pop them off right away. It was like, you got to wait a minute to pull on it, So, I bought one of those Popsodent things and I thought I was a baller. The dealership's trying to fix rails, man. It's like, damn, I'm gonna be a hail guy. Fix dents. Trying to use that little thing where you got the feet and you put the black glue in the center, and I'm like, boop.
That's
little
funny.
did I know. Oh my God, yeah. I was sold on the gimmick thinking for 1995 I'm gonna be a hail guy. Popping glue. Didn't even have a mini lifter yet.
After
I went to
Steve,
and, I failed miserably like the first few days, and by the time the end of it, it finally clicked, like using a light from those line boards and everything I was used to.
Yeah. And he's a fantastic tech. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's phenomenal. I literally went back like a couple months later, did like an advanced thing with him, and then he was like, you just need to stop coming back. He goes, he's like, you're at a level that, you're ramped up so far, but I was like, there's always new levels to get to, so he was just like, I feel like I'm kind of wasting your money. So yeah, it was pretty cool. He taught me a lot and we became really good friends. And that was when, he was still trying to figure out which way he was going to go with the tool manufacturing and everything. So he literally at that time, he was like 10 minutes away. So I was over there all the time, just getting all this stuff, trying tools out and everything, There's times he's like, bro, you got to stop buying those tools. You break them so much. You can't buy those anymore from me. I can't warranty the stuff you keep breaking. But I was drill it and bill it. Mr. Drill it and bill it, man.
Hey, we all were, man. Back in the day, I explain to people all the time.
Look, I was like, you got what you paid for. I mean, you paid $50. You got $42 worth of holes in your car. Plus I made $8. That car's going to go fast though. Cause I lightened it up quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So who did you start doing hail with?
Man, let's see. Oh, like I said, I met Jeremy Carroll, Lou Freeman, and then Lou called me up for a Dent Wizard deal, and they said, hey, it was Wednesday, and he's literally like, hey, I need you here by Friday, and this is Wednesday afternoon in California in San Juan Capistrano at my Westlow Honda. Called my wife, and I said, hey, it's that time. She was like, what? I said, yeah, I got the call. I got to be in Atlanta by Friday. 12 on Wednesday.
Wow.
And I was like, I called the one dude who was set up to kind of help me, like, here, dude, I was like, hey, when I want to get a call, I'm going to leave. I need you to do my accounts. He's like, okay, my guy really needs to work. And literally I drove home to Norco, loaded up my stuff, and then we drove like 32 hours straight just to get there.
Wow.
And started working.
You and your wife, or who did you drive with?
Say again?
You and your wife drove out there, or?
Yeah, my wife drove me out there because, man, I struggle driving long distances cross country because just a chronic fatigue I got from the Marine, so the Gulf War syndrome. So she was like, I'll get you out there. And literally I showed up and he was like, dude, I can't believe you just did that. He goes, okay. And then he was like, oh, here's a guy. That's what you do. You won't work. So literally we worked a Dent Wizard deal. And that's the first deal. I had all these tools, sharp metal rods. I didn't have any screw on tip tools. Here I am working this, God, what was the car? Anyway, some little 2-door piece of crap, rental car that no one would do. Here, give it to that dude. I'm the idiot that fixed it. They're like, bro, you can kick that, right? And I felt like I needed to teach something. So I forgot the guy, Robert something or whatever. He does a lot of competitive shooting or whatever. He's like, look, dude, take this cherry tip and then get a sharp tip. Get some tool that you can put that on and push with that. You'll do way more. Because, they had like 5 Dent Wizard guys tag team in a car. And here I am trying to do this car with a full metal rod that I got because, route stuff, So boy, did I not know what I needed to do. Hell. And so I stuck that out with Lou Freeman. We did really well. I mean, I think Lou bragged about it. I think he said, Joel, he goes, how much did you guys make in your first week of doing Hell? And everybody's like, here's this number. They were like $5,000, $6,000. I'm like, this dude made 15.5. That's how much hustle he had. And I was like, dude, I crushed it. That's for wholesale, not knowing what I was doing. I just stuck so freaking hard. Just showed up early, stayed late. Just, he couldn't even believe it, So then he's like, dude, we got a spot for you if you want to come do some stuff. But, I still didn't know enough, I was a problem child because I was just like, man, not a problem child, but you don't know the Hell industry.
Exactly.
So you're so naive. So you make tons of mistakes that you just don't know, So they stuck me in a body shop in like Eatonton, Georgia, and working this little shop. They loved me because I just still had the same hustle. I wasn't making a ton of money compared to what I could, but I didn't realize I was just learning the business, So yeah, a few storms with them and everything. And then you start going to MTE networking, and then, a few people start calling you, you're still trying to learn your way through it and everything, not knowing how green you are, So yeah, just started doing that. And literally after I got done that first year, I went home and I said, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to sell the house and we're going to move. So literally in the middle of the storm in July, when I was working for them.
What year was this, Joe?
9 years ago.
Oh.
So whatever, yeah. I'm not sure what year that was, but 2013, 2014, 2012, yeah, something like that. And my wife flew out. I picked her up at the airport in Nashville. We drove around looking for places, and I was like, yeah, we're done. We literally had only been in our house for like a year and a half. And I was like, I'm going to do this. I mean, I can stand all day, save my body, and, I can work 5-6 months a year and not have to, and then take the time off. And so we literally sold the house and then literally moved to one of those, like an extended stay place for 3 months looking for homes until we found a home in Portland, Tennessee, and then went home and sold our house like in a week.
Yeah. 2013. Your wife is on it.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, so we literally moved, and I didn't even have furniture in my house yet. And the next year, I was sleeping on a mattress, an air mattress, and I got a call to go back on the Hell Trail the next year, and that's literally, I was like, there's my next Hell season. I wasn't even moved in my house yet.
That's wild.
So you just start doing it from there.
I want to say I got to give it up for your wife. It sounds
my
like
wife
she
says
was
2013.
It sounds like she was a trooper. I mean, you made some decisions, and she was just like, "Let's go." Sounds like
I wouldn't be where I am today without her. I mean, she is like the brick and mortar of it all. I'm just the pretty face, man. I'm the pretty face. I'm the hot body. She's just, she's the Igor to my whatever. I mean, if there's beauty in the beast, you know what? I got all the beauty. She's just the beast behind.
Nay.
I know.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, so we just ground it out and you make your mistakes, you do good things, you do bad things and everything, and you wade through all the mud and the muck that's out there, and you just hope each year you make the right decision, work the right people, network the right people, and just grind it out and try and get better at every storm, so seem to make a good name for myself. I mean, every year I try and learn something from no matter who's there. I mean, whether it's a new kid or a guy that's been doing it forever, I mean, I want to sponge up all I can learn to get better. I mean, I was really good at side panels. So that's all I ever did at the lots, but I was horrible at hoods and deck lids and roofs. I mean, I didn't even know how to take a headliner apart until a couple of years ago, man. I mean, it's literally, you know, because you're so afraid on the route, you just drill stuff. That's how I get to it, you know. A dent in a rail, put a 1/4-inch hole and put a little tool in it. Put a little beep beep or a little dumb gun that sucker, you know.
Yeah.
And you learn, I guess you learn with the hail trail, the good and the bad. You know what I mean? You learn.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of really good guys out there and everything. And the same thing, they're fighting for their families too. You know, so you got to learn something. Everything, whether it's been good, bad, or indifferent, it's been a blessing because of the lessons that were learned from it. You know,
Right. Absolutely.
So, the last couple of years have been rough because of surgeries I've had, but through each one of those, it's made me stronger, and I've learned and gotten around really good people that help support me stay on my feet because of just the things I was going through. I mean, I was working a year when I started to get paralyzed on the job site. It started off for 5 or 10 minutes, then it went to hours. I was paralyzed and couldn't move. I was literally laying on the shop floor. My partner's like, dude, I got you. You know, So at the end of the hell season, I got five vertebrae fused in my neck, you know, to stop getting paralyzed. And next season, you know, I owed him a lot. So I was like, man, whatever you are, I will grind it out. I will kill myself to make sure we do good.
Who was that partner?
John Yeager.
He is a beast. John Roeger, I met him at the Hail Expo.
Yeah.
And that dude.
Yeah. He is.
I learned just being around him just a little bit. I learned a lot.
Is that the same gentleman that you were with at Corey's shop or working with Corey?
Yeah.
Corey was telling me a little bit about him.
Yeah, John's so well-rounded. I mean, just really quiet. And he just knows so much. I mean, you know, you never know what's there. I mean, you know, he's you know, like I said, if there's beauty in a beast, he's the beauty. I'm the beast, man. If we work together, I mean, I work so hard to make sure, because I mean, he did a lot, and I'm like, hey, I owe you every single day.
That's cool.
So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
So you're working with him full time now?
Yeah,
right?
we ended up running into each other at a lot of different deals, and you know, he had patience, I had patience, you know, so we grind out well together. I mean, we got a good mixture of, you know, together we get things done. You know, there's not a lot of drama there, and it's just, you know, it's nice when you have someone you click with, because maybe because sometimes we're such polar opposites that, you know, we're like those magnets that do stick together, you know. In moments we push apart, but you know, we really work well together. We know we're both working for a bigger purpose other than our own egos, and which is our families. Yeah. And that's really good. You got a guy that's there, no ego, every day. He does what he does for his family and everything. You're trying to do the same thing, and you know, that's the good thing. You got a guy that just, you know, just there to work, you know. So
now, are
there
you
to play
guys...
when you can play, and you're there to work when you need to work, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, last night we worked almost midnight just to get a car done, so we could try and leave all together this weekend just to go home and see our families. And that dude's just grinding it out, making it happen. Just, you know, that's cool. And that's hard, you know. I mean, there's lots of guys that do it. I'm not saying he's just one in a million, but he's a one in a million guy, you know. Yeah. So I feel fortunate just to be around him. And then like last year, I was able to bring him on. We had a really good deal. We worked 7 months at 1 year with a gentleman in West Virginia. And man, it was a long storm. But without John and the guys we were able to bring in, man, it wouldn't have been possible. I mean, we had a really, really, really good crew, and all the guys doing the same thing, just trying to take care of the family and working through the mud and the muck. It's like what you guys do day in, day out, you know. You just, you know, you don't want to do a certain job, but man, you're just like, I know I got to do it. You know, once you get through it, you feel better for it.
Now, when you're working with John, do you guys split cars usually? Or you
I
like a hood?
We've done both. We've both either just done our cars separately, depending on the deal. And then if like this situation, there's not enough room, so we split. So like a lot of times John does really good at the admin stuff and dealing with the customers and everything. And then I just get in a mood where I just grind on the car, and he just is like, dude, I'll let you eat that car up and I'll go do everything else. It's just like, and you know, you don't always have to be on the car working to show your worth. Yeah. And those are the key parts that he does is, you know, when he's out, like, hey, I'll go do this estimate. Don't worry about it. Or, you know, I'm like, no, I feel guilty. He's like, bro, I feel guilty because you're working on the car. I'm like, that's my job. My job is to make you money, because the same thing you're doing for me if I'm not here, you know. Like when I was paralyzed in my hotel room for 3 hours, he's there grinding out the car and splitting it with me. Wow. Yeah. How is that fair? Yeah. Yeah. So
it's a good boy is what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. So when, you know, he's not having a good day or he's feeling slow or whatever, I'm like, now it's my job to put that backpack on of hero and to show up. And that was
That's
me
cool.
this morning. We worked so late and this car was hit pretty hard. We were working on, and between him doing estimates, and he was probably just as tired of things he was working on. I was like, all right, it's time to put superhero on and get in the mood. And literally we just balled it all morning until we got this car done. And I literally was walking through the shop and I stopped for a second. I literally fell asleep standing up, and I was like, that's time to go to the truck and take a nap. So I wake up, I set it for like 30 minutes. I wake up and like, no one, I can't find John. He's up front doing an estimate. He goes, dude, he goes, I went by the truck. He goes, you were passed out. And I was like, yeah, dude, you should have came and got it. He goes, no, I did it. You were tired. He goes, you busted you busted your ass on that car. We got it done. And he goes, hey, I was just up here doing it. He goes, you could have slept for an hour. I wouldn't have cared. I was like, that's a partner,
Yeah.
That's wild. What is your go-to to like get you in the mood? Like, you got a car, you got to finish it. You're tired. You wish you could go to sleep. But how do you motivate yourself? I'm just curious. Like,
Ryan and I were talking about that. And what is it? Eminem. Dude, it's
Serious.
honestly, to say it or not, Eminem saved my life. Literally the music on 8 Mile.
Really?
Yeah. Struggled to learn, struggled to make money. I heard that song one day and boom, I was like, that's it. I got one shot, one opportunity. I wasn't going to waste it.
Yeah.
So
every time I hear
Manny,
that
you
song
said
too,
you weren't going to make me cry. You
Hey,
lied.
I did lie.
I know, right? No. So anyways, that just means a lot to me because just, one moment you can pick.
Yeah.
So I listen to it. I call my anger music that are Machine Gun Kelly, and it just, you get it going, and here comes the grind. Here comes the grind, and you just lay it all out.
Yeah.
So, I'm broken and I'm beat, but you're never going to outgrind me. I might get tired,
Exactly.
be bitchy, be a bear to deal with, but you need me to lay it down. I lay it down. I try my best. I fail a lot, but I tell you what, we all do it, man. I tell you what, you get the right partners, the right people around you that are positive and that can sit there and live through that daily ugliness sometimes. And just, at the end of the day, you're sucking up beers, having a good time with them. And it's like, we could talk about last year, oh man, for as hard as it was so good. And that's going to be this year.
Yeah.
For as hard as some of the things are, at the end of it, I'm going to meet some really good people, work for a really good kid. And man, we're going to learn so much about each other.
Corey wants to know if he can come back. He's got another job that just dropped off.
I don't think I've even seen him lift a tool since I've been here. He talks mad game. I've seen him probably do like 746 TikToks with a yellow rag on his head, but I don't think I've seen him pick up a tool. But I tell you what, he tells me every day, I really appreciate you. I'm glad you're here. I want you here. And I tell you what, that means a lot just to hear that from somebody, because you get some people you work for, or you can, and you just want to feel appreciated. You want to feel wanted. And man, I tell you what, every day he goes out of his way. He comes in a good mood. And what do you need? What do you want? Can I get you anything? And man, like I poked a hole in a headliner. He's like, bro, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I was like, man, I felt so bad.
Yeah, Corey's an awesome guy. I met you at World PDR.
Yeah, PDR World Cup. That was a good time, man. I really wish that had really worked out. Adam poured his heart and soul into that, and you almost. I tried so hard to help like anywhere I could, but I was on the road too, so it was hard to really dig in and help. So it was a way that I could help him there, and I really wish,
I think he may have a good comeback to do that show again, since there's no MT Vegas. So if Adam, you're on here.
I don't know. I mean, I thought
World Cup will be.
Yeah, no, I thought he gave it away.
Back.
Yeah, I thought he signed new people to it that were going to run it. I haven't heard much about it, but I mean, you always want to see things for the industry succeed, and you want to see those people succeed. It's just, just like when you did this thing, I want to be on here because I want to see guys succeed. When you hit me up, I was like, man, what's this? I was trying to remember, and it's like you want to make an impression on every person you came in contact with. I did, because you're just there to, you can't make friends with everybody, but you want to make an impression, good, bad, or indifferent, learn something. And we did, because look at us. I mean, for whatever time that we spent together, it was really nice that there was a moment that you were like, hey, remember that guy? And I was like, man, that meant a lot to me that you would even just sit there and have that,
Yeah, no.
So I thought that was really cool. I was like, man, that's really nice. Yeah, if that guy wants to have me on, I'll be on, because you know what? you say that about me, you say nice things, and you want someone to be on, hey, I want to help make you successful.
Well, what was crazy for me is just that I didn't see you for a long time. 2020, I don't know where it went, but
Yeah.
then I went back to MTE in Florida this year, and then I saw you there, and I saw you competing, and I was like, what?
Yeah, John and I kicked butt. I think we came in fourth when they figured it all out. We were like in a tie for third. They had to flip the coin, and we ended up not getting third. We got fourth. But I mean, I was coming back from once again another surgery and everything, and John,
Right.
John carried us really well. We do really well. I mean, it's like, I think we both felt like we let each other down. But I mean, I was like, man, at fourth, it's like I've always placed when I did the Dent Olympics, top 10 or whatever, or really close.
Yeah.
And so coming back, I was nervous just because I was like, look, I haven't done this in a while. I'm coming off surgeries and going public again, you're really putting yourself out there, right? To either succeed or fail. So you're going to be judged.
Yeah.
And, and then to hear that, some of the guys one of the guys told me is like, no, he's like, you guys need to get in here. You need to get in here. I was like, cause I'm like helping Shane Jackson, Keith pack up, and he's calling me in there cause he thought we were going to get the third. So he's like, you need to get in here. And we ended up getting fourth, but I was like, that's solid. I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
So for the guys who think that, they're too old school to do the MTE, what do you got? How do you motivate them to say?
Man, I tell you what, I mean, it's fun. Make it worth, either the tools or meet some of the people you want to meet, take it for what you want, and, leave all the other stuff behind. Just go there for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Meet I wasn't there to meet Manny, but I did because I made it about the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. 100%.
Like that expo, I wanted to do that, and like this last one, I wanted to just meet the people that I felt close to when I came back to this MTE, and just spend my time with them. Really, really give them what I felt the time was due. Get rid of all the mud and the muck and everything, and just, hey, see you, cool. But these are the people I want to talk to.
Exactly. And that's really, I mean, that's like I met Roeger at the Hail Expo. That was great. I mean, we talked forever.
Oh yeah, dude,
great
he'll
conversations.
talk your ear off. I mean, I think all day long he probably says 4 words to me. He's usually grinding on a hood, and I'm usually on the car grinding away. And it's usually I'm over there poking. I'm literally like, I'm probably like his little Wreck-It Ralph. I'm John's Wreck-It Ralph. Because I'll go over there, I'll start poking him, I'll be waving or whatever, and he's like, now what? Nothing. Hi. I'll look over the car, I'll be staring at him. I'm literally like this. So there's tons of photos I have of him, and it's just me being goofy because it's like, you got to be goofy out there because, man, these cars are grind.
Yeah.
What's your go-to tools for these Hail cars?
Man, I love the Carbon Tech rod. I like anything that I can stick that Eagle Claw on. The Hedgehog, I've been crushing it with the Hedgehog, and then with those cherry tips, you get the different R tip series underneath it. Really try and get small. I was using the different glues. I've been trying out the Hero, Jeremy Smith's that Collision Sagan. Man, that thing would just, when you hit that bang zone, man. I haven't even heated up my dent out right at all. I've been just doing that. Those new European tabs, like those orange ones. Keith and them had them on their booth. I'm not sure. Forgive me for not knowing, but they have some were triangles, but they cove up, not down. So they're the orange triangle, and they got some really nice crease ones, and I got some these red
Laka tabs.
It might be, yeah. So and they got these nice red ones, but I tell you what, I mean, man, I carry way too many tools. Whoo! Man, I carry way too many tools on my cart. But Drew stuff, those big bulky handle ones, but they're for door tools. That he has that three set with the really big kicks on them. Those are phenomenal, man. Just down crushing through doors. And then I bought some stuff from A1, those little tweaker tools handles you can flip up, and it's got 2 little bends, and just to get in all the bracing. And then I got this set that I call the Joe Mathis set, since I refer it to everybody from Ultra. And then I even had some tools made that I put together. One I bend to the right, one I bend to the left. They're bendables. And just been telling everybody about those, just a perfect set that I think really works great for me. And a ton of guys have their own different tools. But when somebody says they can't get to a dent, and I'm sure John will chime in, he's like, don't have Joel walk up to your hood stand with that set of tools because he's gonna get to it. He's gonna embarrass you and go, there you go. And it's just a set of tools that you can bend it, do what I want to do, and I'm like, there you go, there you go,
Yeah.
there you go, there you go.
Are you a tap down guy or a blending?
Both. Sometimes just start everything. I'm getting better at blending. That was the one thing. Man, I tell you what, if you can get good at rails, man, you can roll in the dough. I mean, you get good at get that metal up so quick, and then be able to, which we call John and I would call ourselves the Blendermans. Hey, welcome to the Blendermans. This is Blenderman 1 or Blenderman 2. We got senior and junior. Who would you like today? So yeah, this last year, because I felt like I was failing miserably at rails, I made it my mission. I was like, I will do every rail on this storm. I'll do every rail. 100 dent rail, 200 dent rail. I had one day that did this Mercedes. I think it took me 2.5 days just for the rails because the metal was so hard, but I killed it. Yeah. The body shop's like, what? I hated it. And they're like, bro, that's so good. Yeah. I was like, dude, a day and a half on it. I was like, whoo.
What glue?
At that time, I was probably still using the Dent Out Red. I didn't know about these other glues, and we were hearing about them, but it was like, well, you don't know if it was urban legend or myth. Oh, it takes all this set time. You got to clean it. This is a long process to stick it on the rail or whatever. And then I was like, hey, Jeremy, I've been checking out your stuff this year, man. Hey, I really want to try it. How can I get some? And he was like, I'll send it to you for free. I'm like, bro, no, I'll support you. Let me buy it. I don't want nothing for free, bro.
Yeah.
I'll support you. Let me buy it, And he's like, no, he sent me a bunch of stuff. And I said, here, no, I'll let you know. I called him up the day I was trying it. I was like, what do I need to know? And then we just started pulling on it, working through the kinks and everything. And, some people like it, some people don't. But, I haven't put out my Dent Out Red. Then we were trying some of that Hero from that Corey showed me. And I probably just don't have a glue gun that's going to get it hot enough where I think. But I tell you what, man, we've just been crushing some stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, but, yeah, that Sagan. Like I said, other guys are swearing by the Dent Out Red, which I still did. It's still in the box. So yeah, there's Michael Kidwell. That's who we work for right there. Yeah, we did some crazy stuff last year, but it was all for getting better. That was the thing. It was like you do last year, so it pays off this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we're learning this year. We're doing some, what we're going to do this year, pay off for next year to get better. I don't mind the challenge. I might go through my process where I vocalize a little bit externally versus I should talk with my inside voice in my head. But I'm still working though. That's what I tell everybody. Learn. It's really good. I'm like, yeah, but I'll be working while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Still working though.
Yeah. I have a friend that comes over time to time, and Paul, and I'll be working and talking. He wants me to stop. Like, come on, man, work and talk, baby, work and talk. Like, come on.
Yeah, the blending, once this last year, I really focused on the blending and, wanted to get better. I was like, God, the Dent Olympics, I'll be so good. And then I feel like I choked. I was just pulling way too fast. The tab was set and it was heating up so much. The metal was heating up, just got so far ahead of myself because I wanted to, John's talking about inner monologue. I need to learn to internalize more. But, John just says, hey, you got to say something, say it to me. Don't say it to nobody else.
What is your blending hammer that you're
honestly
right
it's from what's his name that went out of business that his shop burned down?
Dent Technologies.
Yeah. His trailer broke down outside Nashville, so I was like, dude, here, I'll tell you to Florida. My wife's like, what? I said, yeah, I'm headed to Florida, MTE. She's like, are you shitting me? I was like, yeah, he broke down and we need some help. I was like, I'm going to take him to Florida. She's like, okay. So I literally get ready to go down there and everything. And I don't know what that is. Sorry. Let me get this so it stops beeping real quick. And like literally on my way there to pick him up, he's like, oh, I got it handled. It was like his def went empty on his truck and it went into limp mode. So he thought his truck was screwing up. So I was literally going to tow him. And so he was like, bro, man, thank you so much. And so when I went to MTE, he gave me like $1,000 in tools. All was really we had really cool stuff.
Yeah, he had some really nice stuff, man.
Yeah, so he gave me all that stuff, and it was hammers that clicked with me because I got tons of hammers. I've bought more and given more away than anything. I loved Shane Jackson's for a long time. It just the fit and polish for what you like. You were talking about that the blending thing or whatever earlier.
The paddle.
Yeah, the paddle. Some people love them. I bought one. I didn't like it. I got it, and John has it. So I get it. I use it when I'm going to go work on something he's working on or whatever. I'll just grab his paddle, Look at the panel. And he's like, whatever, bro.
I think he commented in here. He used the Scott Grimes paddle.
Yeah, I mean, those
So-
paddles are nice. That thing right there that you were showing, but they inlaid the leather. That shows a level of detail. It's almost like when you see a really good dent guy, the level of detail. There's a kid that I'm seeing that's working, not a kid, it's like my age, at a shop that we're at, and the level of detail you see, the big difference is that all of us can fix dents. It just comes down to speed and maybe size and severity and how fast you do it and how clean you do it. So when you see really good dent guys, I mean, you recognize it. I mean, Corey's a phenomenal dent guy. You know, I mean, he's got all the things that are going to set him apart, or I wouldn't be here, you know, because the stick-to-itiveness, the things he's fixing, as long as he's been in the business, is just things I never would have thought of. So I want to be here to see him succeed. I want to help him in any way I can. And because, you know what, the kindness and like, he's like creating a family mentality here. And you don't normally get that, you know.
Yeah.
And there's got to grind its family, you know. So
Yeah.
kind of like dealing with you guys, you know. It's like we were just chatting. It was nice just for you to come on, and we were just like, hey, what's up, bro? And it's like, man, and we just, it was natural. I like that.
And we've never met before. You know what I mean? It
No.
was kind of
And
like,
I was nervous. I literally was telling the guys, man, I'm nervous. I mean, I kind of remember Manny, but I said, who's this Ryan what, dude? And he's like, Shutt. He goes, man, don't crucify him. I was like, what, shoot? He goes, no, Shutt. You just tell him Shutty. And I was like, Shitty? He's like, no, Shutty. He was like, turn your damn iPods off. I was like, that's a real shitty name. He's like, you better not say that. They're going to eat you alive. No, but then today, so I was looking up your shows, listening to them, scrolling through them and everything. I was like, I dig these guys. Like, I was like, Ryan, I was like, hearing your voice and then listening to things you were saying and everything. I was like, dude, just down to earth. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be on there. And then Manny, I was like, dude, just you guys make it so like family. And then the back and forth, you know, that you could joke with each other. I was like, oh yeah, that's what I want to be part of.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I enjoy about the show is just like, I mean, just the mission statement of it is just like real text, real stories, you know?
Yeah, right. You never know the grind that somebody's gone through or the troubles they've gone through, or, you know, I mean, too often we get so stuck in what we're doing that we don't take the time to maybe listen to what someone's got to say.
Yeah.
Or what they're going through, or just give them one word of kindness might change their whole, whatever they're going to do. Like Don Steves when he shot himself. Was there anything I could have said being the last person that ever spoke with him?
Yeah.
You know, knowing that he literally did what he did. Now, literally just had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
So, you know.
If there's any guys that, you know, are looking into getting to the hell to doing hell, or with any words of advice, you know, with your experience?
Well, I mean, probably start wholesale because, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the quality that you got to have is not as so much as you need on a retail situation, or have a retail guy that has a lot of patience. But like anything, you just got to do it and go to MTE Network. Try and listen wade through everything and find out who you think the guys are. Because I mean, if it weren't for, say, like Bob Lombard or Jamie Hawkins or Ryan Hampton or Dent Wizard or some of these other companies that I started off doing wholesale with, or even Rob Bates and another guy that's doing it, you know, having the kindness just to put me on their deals when I didn't know my butt from a hole in the ground, man. I mean, how would I have gotten good? You just got to go through the grind and then work your way into just getting on those deals and either having your butt hang out or make it, you know, and then you just wade through it. But I mean, you know, it's going to be a lot because you've seen our industry. We all got to subordinate our egos out every now and again because we're always trying to learn something or leave something behind that someone else can learn from you or whatever. And, you know, we hope to do that at every situation. And, you know, there's a lot out there, man. I mean, God, I feel like I'm talking in a circle, but I'm just trying to say the right things that I mean, you know.
Yeah.
You know, go to MT, like you said, I mean, but go there for the purposes that you want, be truthful and honest and then see what you can do. And I mean, and, you know, sometimes, you know, just make sure you get around the right people that have the mindset that, you know, the us versus just me mentality, you know, that's what we can do. Like when I try and talk with John a lot, when I said we, I'm like, I really mean it. I like we, I said, we're a team, you know, he talked about the storm and he was showing me some stuff. He goes, "Won't we just lose your number?" I'm like, bro, it's like a marriage, man. Through thick and thin, good or bad, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're there
Figure
for,
it out.
man. I'm there for you, bro.
Yeah. And
So,
I think that's the best part in those situations when you get teamed up with a guy.
Yeah.
And you get to a point to when you've worked with them for a while.
Yeah.
You already know where they're going to start or how they're going to handle things. And you don't even have to worry about it. Just like you were saying, I'm working on a car and Jaeger's doing an estimate. You're good. Like, you're not like, he's taking advantage of this situation.
I'm honestly like that annoying dog that you have at home that is, I'm loyal to a fault, to no matter what. I mean, if I love you to a freaking fault. And then I want that, I want, like I said, some people don't like it because they're not comfortable with it, but I truly want to build relationships with people and be a loyal friend. Even if you screw up so bad, it's like, I want to be there for you and show you forgiveness and everything, just as much as I want forgiveness for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And I got to tell you, I give it up to you. Thanks for being a great example of, what a good team tech, you could be, because I was researching your name the other day, and man, I just came across so many like reviews on all of these, hell websites, like, and just everyone was just talking just amazing things about you, how you get it done. You work great with teams, it's just like,
we all got our faults. I mean, it's not always that way. I mean, some days you fall on your face, but you know what?
Yeah.
I appreciate the people that have those kind words to say it, and I want to thank all of them. I mean, anybody that has something to say or takes the time out to want to really get to know me and get through get past that first stages and really build a relationship. I thank those people because it means a lot to me,
Yeah.
I mean, we've got, I invested a lot of time to try and meet people sometimes. And, I truly want to make friends with people, it's not always going to work, but
right.
I'm glad I'm glad we got to meet, I mean, look where we are now. I mean, obviously something clicked,
Yeah.
I just sent it to me Monday. He sent it to, was it Sunday or Monday? It was Monday, I think. And he's like,
Sunday thing.
Check him out on Facebook. That's all he said. And I was like, okay. And I started looking through and I was like, oh, this is going to be.
Yeah, I got two profiles. I had one that was just straight up like used to be the business one that I hid behind affordable net removal, which was literally just the name. I was sitting at a dealership talking to a buddy of mine. I was like talking to the receptionist who was just hot at the time. I'm not dating my wife or anything. And I was like, and of course she was totally into my buddy who looks like Vin Diesel, but way better looking. And I was like, so if I was starting my own business name and everything, I just started with affordable, would it be cool? She's like, yeah. So where's Micah? And I'm like, really? I'm like all trying to just roll up on her and everything. And she's just like, yeah, it's a great name and everything. Just kept talking about him. And of course it didn't click. Cause I'm like, Rico Suave's in front of you, girl. Who's this Micah? Shoot. She's like a Rico loser, brother.
How do people find you in social media? What do you use more, like your IG, your Facebook? If people want to get a hold of you,
Facebook. I mean, I have some of those other accounts on Twitter and everything that I just haven't. When we left California, I had the website and everything. That would have been great. And then we moved here. I had the medical issues and everything, and I've been working hard just handling those things year after year. I mean, literally, I've spent 18 months to 24 months in recovery the last few years, just recovering for some level of surgery. Like this next year is going to be my hip. When I hit the hell year hard, and then I lucky through the VA and everything, trying to get these things handled from these injuries. I've been able to extend and do better and better at each year and try and come back. Because a lot of earlier doing Hill, I mean, it was a struggle because the physical injuries were tough to get through, and I battled back just to get better and better and better. And then I go into every season to prove something. Like, hey, I'm better than I was last year. Trust me, I'm ready to kick some butt. I got some problems, but hey, you help me work through these things. I can kick some butt.
Man, that is awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. I had some really good conversation before the show. We should have just started the show live.
And we should save this. I mean, there was so much stuff. I mean, I had his shirt off and everything. You should have seen it. It was
nay.
I had him whipping it back there. You get the disco ball going. Turn your disco ball back on.
That's funny. That is funny. Well, I appreciate it. We definitely,
Yes, sir.
you're definitely going to be back on. We're going to bring you on for you got a great
Let's find a way to
personality.
meet.
So
I would love to find a way to meet, and
definitely.
Yeah.
You going to MTE this next year, or
Dude, if you guys go, I'm in. I'm in. Just get a crew together, sit around, and just talk shop.
If this hail just keeps moving east, you can just keep coming across. Come on, air conditioned shop. Let's go.
John's got to go with me. Brandon's
Come
got
on.
to go with me. We call him BB. John's
Let's
nephew
do
is
it.
doing our R&I and learning dents. Phenomenal dent guy in his own right. He's just, man, the kid, he might wear on you sometimes, but you talk about the heart of gold, and that's what I want. People with the heart of gold.
Yeah.
That's
well,
awesome.
Joel, you have a fantastic evening. Get some sleep so you can do some stuff tomorrow. You got a car already
Okay.
sitting there. So,
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, please stay safe.
It's been good talking.
Joe,
safe.
it's a pleasure having you, sir.
I know. Oh, God, I appreciate it, guys, man.
Yeah, thank you
for having me on, man. And Manny, hey, I really appreciate your time, guys. Both of you, Ryan.
Have a great evening.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
See you,
Joe.
Joel.
We'll talk soon. See you at MT.
For sure.
See
you. Let me tell you, that was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's funny as hell.
And we could have, we could have kept this going, but what an awesome guy.
Yeah. I couldn't even stop. It was like, I'm having so much fun. I can't even, I wish I would have just hit live earlier. Cause it was some good conversations.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm serious, I researched his name and so many great reviews I saw online about him. And cool. When you get to meet him in person, it's what you saw on here. He's just very happy, positive personality. I fell in love with his way of thinking. Just no matter what, there's always something to be learned from. Always just push
and
hard
and
have fun and keep at it.
That's a hard time. I think sometimes I say this all the time. I think I told Ash last year. I said, she's like, "What's your New Year's resolution?" Want to have more fun, right? And it's hard because you get in the mix of business, you're working, you're just grinding through it. You're hitting your speed bumps and stumbles and figuring it out. But sometimes you got to step back and just have fun. You know what I mean? Just try to enjoy it a little bit. You know what I mean? But that's it's hard to do too.
I hope guys get a chance to, see Joe's personality, and it's not about like, killing a car all by yourself, or it's not about how much money you can make than other tech. It's just about those kind of personalities,
Yeah. And that's what this industry is personalities.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was a great show. It was, I'm glad we could get him on,
And Ryan, listen, if Joe gets on the MTE PDR competitions, that means you got to jump on too, man.
No way. Not that it's not the dent. I just like to enjoy everybody's company while I'm there. I'm so stressed during the week and we are so busy. I just like going there and talking and supporting and and it's been a while since I've been. It's been, God darn, I think
3 years now, right?
3 years, man. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So if you guys see Joe at MT, make sure you guys say hello to him and
give him a hug.
Yeah, give him a hug. He's a great guy to talk to and get to meet. And so thanks everyone for watching. Thank you guys. We really appreciate you guys joining in on the show with us.
And Manny, you have a fantastic night. Get home to your family. And
thanks, Ryan.
No show next week. I'm taking the guys out for Employee Appreciation Day. I'm shutting the shop down.
Nice.
We're going to a ball game and doing some other stuff. So no show next week, but we're coming back with a banger the week after.
All right. Looking forward to it.
But yeah, you have a fantastic evening.
Thanks, Ryan.
Everybody be safe. Wash your damn hands and make money.
Thanks, guys, for joining in. See you, Ryan.
Have a great evening. Bye-bye.